Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. An area resident, Andy Anderson, testified before a state Senate committee Tuesday regarding a bill that would have allowed people to vote on fluoridation of water, but he said the bill failed and would not make it to the Senate floor. Senate Bill number 299 was sponsored by State Senator Brian King, of Green Forest. It had been introduced as a way to put the fluoridation issue before voters. The original bill said that before a water district could fluoridate the water in the system, that the district shall hold an election of the qualified electors in the water district to determine whether or not the district shall fluoridate the water. The original bill also said that the election could be called by a majority of the district board members or by a petition signed by at least 35% of qualified voters in that district. Act 197 of 2011 required all water systems with more than 5,000 customers to add fluoride to their water system. North Arkansas Regional Medical Center Vince Least appeared before the Boone County Quorum Court last night to offer some clarification on the property and the issue that the hospital had been having to contend with. TKO8 News was there to capture the exchange.
In furnishings you mentioned earlier, is there an inventory list? I mean,
yes, there is, and I have seen that, but I don't have that with me. But if you'd like to see that, we can arrange for you to see that. But there is an inventory of everything.
Is there an inventory of what the county owns, and is there an inventory of what the hospital board has bought since the lease has taken place? How does that work?
Well, the way it works is that it's an interesting arrangement, and what it boils down to is that the county owns the property. The county owns the building because it's on the property, but the 501c3 carries the debt on the property. So everything that's inside the property was purchased by the 501c3. It wasn't purchased by the county. So the property in the building, based on the way it's located, that's the county's property, and we lease that from you.
But there is an inventory of those things.
So if the county doesn't own anything that's inside the building, what's the inventory consist of? It doesn't consist of the furnishings and the equipment inside the building?
Please ask the question again. Please clarify for me.
If the county doesn't own anything inside the building, what does the inventory list consist of?
It consists of everything that the 501c3 owns inside the building. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, if you have a hospital like this that is a relationship between a privatized 501c3 and the county, and the entire thing comes undone, the community winds up owning the whole thing. So essentially, since the the building's on the county's property, it's a tenant improvement. So what it boils down to is the county winds up, or the community winds up owning the whole property. So if the hospital goes broke, then the assets will go back to the community.
And so therefore there is an inventory of all those things that would consist of if that happens.
Did I answer your question?
Pretty much. So the 501c3 owns all of the stuff. Let me rephrase it. The assets in the building that are used to take care of the patients were purchased from revenue from the operation of the 501c3. And then any of the assets that were purchased, the FF&E for the new building when it was constructed, is debt that's carried by the 501c3. Did I answer your question that time? No? Pretty much.
You can see the complete March meeting of the Boone County Quorum Court on our website at tko8.com. Arkansas Game and Fish Commission is preparing for a 2-year project in our region. The District 2 fisheries have announced the goal to replace a total of 12 courtesy docks on the Bull Shoals and the North Fork Lakes. District Fishery Supervisor Jeremy Risley says the money for the project to replace the docks will come from Game and Fish from Game and Fish. Risley said most of these courtesy docks began appearing back in 1992. Other locations that docks are expected to be replaced this year include the Cranfield, Henderson, and Robinson Point areas. Risley says they're looking to replace other docks on Bull Shoals and North Fork Lakes next year if they can secure more funds from the Game and Fish Commission. The goal is to have the entire project completed in 2 years. The Rush Campground will have drinking water available this year, and camping fees will be collected. The water system at Rush was turned off last fall for repairs. The repair has been made, and the water will be available according to the regular campground schedule, March 15th through the November 15th. The fee to camp at Rush is $12 a night per site. In addition to drinking water, there is a vault restroom in the campground area and picnic tables along with a fire ring and lantern hookups at each site. Rush Campground is only open to tent campers. Recreational vehicles are not permitted. Rush is also the last place to get fresh water before floating through the 25-mile lower wilderness area. More than 6,000 Northwest Arkansas Walmart associates received their share of cash bonuses in their March paycheck. Walmart projected over 850,000 associates in the U.S. would receive bonuses. The total amount of bonuses given out was over $157 million. The bonuses are based on store performance in the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at some headline news from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from your friends at Edwards Grocery. A pot of gold's worth of savings are waiting for you this week. Boneless, skinless, best choice chicken breast or tenders, only $4.99 in the 3-pound bags. Selected varieties, Turkey Hill ice cream, 2 for $5. Best choice lasagna, only $9.99. Assorted pork chops, only $1.49 per pound of the family pack. And selected varieties, Starkist Chunk Light Tuna, only 59 cents.
Edwards Grocery Station money.
This is Josh from Harrison Battery and Tire. Lots of folks have been asking about roadside assistance, and now it's available. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we can quickly and efficiently take care of your tires and battery issues with one phone call. Professional, secure, comforting to get you back on the road. No matter what time, no matter what type of vehicle you drive, call for details at 870-741-7041. Harrison Battery and Tire on the curve of Main Street in Harrison, harrisonbatteryandtire.com. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Spring is here, and Quality Feed Grains has Spring High Mag Loose Mineral to prevent incidents of grass tetany in your beef cattle. They're now taking orders for baby chicks through May 31st and baby ducks through April 14th. Mark your calendar for April 8th and join them for Customer Appreciation Day from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Quality Feed Grains with 2 locations, 4617 Highway 65 South and 311 East Prospect in Harrison.
The agency that protects Arkansas state capitol and grounds now has the authority to operate in secret after Governor Asa Hutchinson let a Freedom of Information exemption become law without his signature. Hutchinson spokesperson J.R. Davis said the governor did not sign the bill that intended to close loopholes that some believe would let anyone access the security assignments because it is too broad. As the bill is written, it would prevent disclosure of any information about the force, its size, its racial or gender makeup, or any officers' salaries. A similar bill extending privacy to police forces at state-funded colleges and universities passed the Senate on Tuesday. Open records of advocates say the rollbacks would be the greatest ever for the state's 50-year-old Freedom of Information Act. And the Arkansas House has passed a bill that would eliminate mandatory life without parole sentences for juveniles. State Bill 294, sponsored by Senator Missy Irwin and co-sponsored by District 94's Representative Rebecca Petty, first passed in the Senate on February 28th. The bill was passed by a House vote of 86-1 on Tuesday. Representative Jack Former was the only vote in opposition. The bill is meant to bring Arkansas sentencing standards in line with recent U.S. Supreme Court decisions that say mandatory life sentences for juveniles are unconstitutional. The proposal would apply retroactively to juveniles sentenced for offenses committed before their 18th birthday. It would allow minors who were given life without parole sentences to be eligible for parole after serving 20 to 30 years in prison, depending on the charges. It now goes to Governor Asa Hutchinson for his signature. Officials with the Fayetteville Public Schools say 5 employees have been placed on administrative leave after a 6-year-old boy went missing from the school playground and later died after being found unresponsive in a nearby swimming pool. Authorities say 6-year-old Adrian Benton died at a Little Rock hospital last week after the incident. Officials are still investigating what happened when the young boy went missing during recess at Vandergrift Elementary School, but say that a fence will be installed at the school's playground in the future. District Superintendent Matthew Windent has said the community is devastated by the young boy's death. A bill that would allow people with a concealed carry license to carry their firearms at Arkansas colleges, some bars, and many state buildings if they undergo additional training has advanced out of the House committee. Republican Representative Charlie Collins' bill advanced out of the House Judiciary Committee on Tuesday. Collins says the bill is meant to deter shootings on Arkansas campuses. Under the measure, people with a concealed carry license can complete an additional 8 hours of training to receive a permit endorsement, which allows them to carry on college campuses and other public buildings. A person with the enhanced permit could also carry in private establishments like restaurants, bars, unless written notice is prohibited concealed carry at that location and is posted in numerous locations. Courtroom, prisons, and places of worship are exempt. An effort to end Arkansas's practice of commemorating Confederate General Robert E. Lee on the same holiday as slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. is heading to a final vote in the legislature. The House Education Committee has endorsed the proposal to remove Lee from the King holiday. Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi are the only 3 states to honor the two on the same day. The bill would set aside another day in October to honor Lee, but not a state holiday. It also calls for expanding what's taught in Arkansas schools about the Civil War and civil rights. Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson urged the committee to advance the bill, saying the move was needed to unify the state and improve its image. Before we look at the weather forecast as we move on through the work week, here's the way the stock market ended today. One of the coldest nights we've had this winter, early spring season was last night. 25 degrees in many locations in the viewing area. It was downright cold out there. We're not used to this cold weather. Obviously, we've been almost running in a spring mode through the winter months up until the last couple of days. So it was quite a change for the residents of the viewing area. Well, we do have a little warm up coming our way, but it's going to take a little time. Looks like much better for tonight. Today's high was only 44 degrees under cloudy skies with a north wind of about 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight around 35, so a little bit warmer. Looks like Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll move up to 56 degrees. And then on Friday, we do have some chance of thunderstorms in the area, but much warmer temperatures. Afternoon thunderstorms on Friday expected, about 40% chance, but a high temperature of 66 degrees. On Saturday, a nice weekend in store for us, mostly sunny skies and 66, 67 on Sunday with lots of sunshine. But look at this, we kick off the work week on Monday with sunny skies back up to about 77 degrees. Wow, what a difference a couple of days make. 24, 25 degrees, all of a sudden by Monday, daytime temperatures back up into the mid to upper 70s. Spring's got to be around the corner somewhere. Just hang in there. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll talk about sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Hello, this is Michelle from Nature's Wonders. This time of year, people tend to be disappointed in themselves for not following through with New Year's resolutions. Well, we have a thought for you. Why New Year's resolutions? Why not New Day resolutions? Each day is an opportunity for us to start fresh, have a new attitude, be more positive, and take better care of ourselves. We're here to help by providing the natural and organic grocery and supplements that you need. Come see us at Nature's Wonders on Highway 65 in Harrison, just down from Thompson's Ace Hardware. And remember, when you start each day, make a New Day resolution to be a better and healthier you.
Welcome to our One for Everyone sales event.
We're looking for something safe.
Yeah. The 2017 Corolla RAV4 and more come with Toyota Safety Sense Standard.
Does it come with the, and then it kind of...
Lane departure alert. Standard.
Oh, but does it have the thing that you're like...
Kind of like...
Ah! But it helps you stop.
Pre-collision system. Standard.
Now, during the One for Everyone sales event, get $2,000 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a stylish new 2017 Corolla LE for only $179 a month.
Keith. Standard.
Toyota, let's go places.
The Mountain Home High School soccer teams were able to sweep Harrison on Tuesday night at Bomber Stadium. The evening began with the Lady Bombers coming from behind to beat the Lady Goblins 2-1. Sabra Wickshire and Sarah Swanger were each scored a goal for the Mountain Home team. Grace Beckman dished out an assist, and Kelsey Paul recorded 6 saves. Mountain Home boys followed by shutting out Harrison 3-0. You want to watch the big dance in person? It's going to be more expensive this year, however. Resale tickets for the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament cost an average of $316, which is up by about 29% from last year. Ticket IQ, which tracks ticket data, said there is also fewer tickets available this year because the opening round games are at venues that have smaller resale ticket markets. The cheapest ticket for the opening round of the tournament and the regional rounds cost about $43 this year. The cheaper available ticket for the Final Four, however, is $196. University of Missouri will pay $80,000 to a search firm helping the university to find a new men's basketball coach. The fee doesn't include direct expenses, which are kept at $9,600. The contract also doesn't include costs for such things as committee travel and background investigations, which will be billed separately. Athletic Director Jim Sturck has said the school is using the search firm primarily to provide confidentiality to the candidates. The coach will replace Kim Anderson, who was fired after 3 seasons. And the St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Jordan Schaefer will have surgery this week on his left elbow and could ultimately need a Tommy John operation. The 30-year-old Schaefer is one of the more intriguing stories across the spring training program. He spent 6 seasons in the big leagues as a speedy outfielder with the Braves, the Astros, and the Twins, but is trying to reinvent himself as a pitcher after his career appeared to have ended. Schaefer felt soreness in his forearm over the weekend after struggling in some of the exhibition games. The Cardinals say that an MRI revealed the injury. Schaefer last played in the majors with Minnesota back in 2015. He is career .228 hitter with 103 steals. Patrick Maroon had a goal and an assist, and Edmonton snapped a 3-game skid with a victory over Dallas. Benoit Palat, Oscar Keelan, and Darnell Nurse, along with David Dinshower and Ryan Hopkins, along with Connor McDavid, all scored for the Oilers, who are 2-2 and 1 on an 8-game homestand. McDavid tied with the Blackhawks star Patrick Kane with 76 points for tops in the NHL. Brett Ritchie scored for the Stars, who have now lost 3 in a row. That wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements from around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around our viewing area.
Harrison's broadcast